Hello people, and welcome to my BMW F650GS Dakar 2006 model. And today in the post got a new suspension setup, which is what this video is going to be about. Hi there, I'd just like to pause there for a second, and I'm going to apologise for using my Nikon DSLR camera to record this. I didn't quite realise how bad they were at video recording. You can hear the autofocus going. Depth of field is amazing though, isn't it? But anyway, we had to persevere because that's all I had at the time, and this is it. So, sorry. This video is going to be me fitting the front springs, progressive springs, and oil supplied by TFX. Play some oil for them. There we go. You can see the progressiveness. Some instructions from the Netherlands. I've also got some shock protectors to cover up the chrome here. So I'm not sure if these seals already gone a bit. There's a bit of oiliness there. The protectors will stop any dirt getting in the seals there and cause any leaks. I have the replacement seals even, as well as everything else replacement. We have the fork seals. We have the dust seals. Those bolts are for the rear suspension, I believe, and then a selection of replacement washers and some kind of clip and an oil. So to start with, front wheel off. Okay, now so stabilised it, put a fair amount of weight on the arse end here. So there you go, there's a caliper just tied up out of the way, and then as I take the forks off, tie these up out of the way, and what we're looking at doing is slacking off this top bolt up here, and then also these clamping bolts just here. And just before we do that, we're just slacking off this big bolt at half a turn just to loosen it up while it's clamped in, making note and paying attention to the fact that the top of the fork is level with the top of the yoke there. Undo. Wowzers. Okay, see what I did there? You have to keep the bottom ones clamped, top one slackened off, then you can undo bolt on the top here. If that's still tight, you can't undo that. Makes sense? Freed off the light, and now the fork freely just fall down. There we go, we have it. Okay, and so here we have them. Two forks removed from the bike. I'm not sure where you can see this, but let me just find the light. Might just be able to see like clumps of dirt building up in the kind of ridges of the seals there, which is what they're for, but every time that builds up, scratches the forks, or just works their way into the system. Hence the sock protector things, which I'll show you once they're installed. And there's that 24mm nut on the top there, you just have to slacken off. So now I've got the right hand side fork, and I'm going to slacken off or completely remove this top bolt now. Bit of a spring load to that, so be careful when you do that. And a 10mm. So what I've done just there is 10mm socket, and there's the oil drain at the bottom here. Careful though, everything wants to just kind of slide down itself. So you take out this sleeve, this will slide down, and then we have the original springs. Oh, there's a washer on the top there. These are the new springs, progressive, which is this bit here, and then it goes down to normal. Are the same length as the standard springs with the metal tube there. About Okay, I think I'm having a bit of an issue here. On the first attempt, I didn't first slacken off this as instructed, and I can't seem to slacken it off when the stuff's out. Reassemble it, still doesn't undo. Seems to be an issue, so much so that they mentioned it in the handbook. Okay, so I just spent a little while off camera and fully dismantled one of the shocks. Eventually got it undone. So just gonna take this one apart, put new seals on, because the seals in both of them are absolutely shocking. Someone's hammered them in with a screwdriver or something. By the looks of it, can't believe they came out of the factory like that. Okay, so this is the first fork I took off. I couldn't undo this bolt here that on a wooden dowel. And I'm going to bite into the rod that's here, and then okay, now I've got a narrower gauged dowel or broom handle, and the idea is, I believe, it jams up what is freely spinning up here. Maybe. Yes. That is a hell of a lot of unnecessary effort. So I managed to release this off, so completely remove it, you get a washer, dispose of the washer. Once that's done, you can release the damper rod, which seems to have the bottom there, and then it comes out with a little mini spring of some sort. It's got a name, can't remember what. And slide viciously apart. Shit. Flew out there with some kind of oil cap thing that sits in the bottom of the fork there. And you've also got, this is key washer, and you're replacing the oil seal. Sorry, it's got an oil seal. Like I said, it's rusted. The spring in it's showing through. Someone's hammered that in. So now everything's free and loose. You give everything a good clean, wipe down, and then especially pay good attention to inside here. Get quite a bit of gunk in the bottom of this. Clean up as best you can. Okay, so these are most of the parts. We're going to need to reassemble the fork pre-oil and spring situation. It's just the oil drain. Right, yes. So, slide that through the fork. Comes down to the bottom, push out a bit of excessive oil, and slip that onto that. And then it all assembles into here. Then you've got this drain bolt. No, it's not a drain bolt, but I have no idea what it's called. New crush washer on the bottom again. And obviously you just got to feel it. And we're just doing it up. Up and down test. So let's just kind of engage itself once the spring, I guess, is in. Then we have this ring that is going to slide down the fork and sit in the gap here. Then with the big metal washer, this one slides on top. You need to go around, hammer the ring in. Make sure the washer's on top first. And it's quite a way for it to travel in. Go around, bash it in, put it out, and the hammer down. Time. Okay, so we've got that in now, fully down, put the washer back on, and then it is a case of the oil seal. And then we've also got the new clamp and then the new dust seal. Now the oil and the dust seals come with these long life oil seal lubricants. So split the right way up, put some lube in it, slide it down, and then again bash that down. Now I'm going to use the old knackered up oil seal to give it something to go between this and my chisel, which is all I have, to get that bedded in properly. There's a little channel in here for the clip to sit in, and you've got to make sure this goes all the way past that before you put the clip in for that to sit in. Okay, so we've got the seal, oiled it up there, and just going to slide that over. It's a snug fit, and then it goes all the way down. Nice. Old one, slide it on top. I think this is the best way. And you've got something to hammer in. Right, that one did not want to go in correctly. It's in there. You just got to drive it home. Okay, so I've hammered the oil seal down in there. It's just about showing the little groove inside. So you can get this spring clamp thing in place. And you get the old one again. You're just going to drive in the last bit. And I'm just hammering it in, working it around, so then this clip is going to go into its groove. It'll hold it in place. Okay, I doubt you can see it, but the clip is there in holding the oil seal in place. It's in this ridge, and now we're going to get this, which is the dust cap, for the last bit of oil. Slide it over, and it just goes down and then pushes in. It's supposed to. There you go. We do these 2 bolts over the bottom, and we are ready. Okay, so what we've got now is to fill up the fork with fluid. We're going to have it so it is 300 millimeters from the top, and then we pump it around for a bit, get it all in, and then we refill it up so it's 200 millimeters from the top, and then we drop the spring in and put on the nuts. This. Okay, so just use a ruler, dip technique, clean ruler, fill up a bit, check it, fill it up a bit, check it. A little bit time consuming, there you go. So anyway, that's correct, just touch the bottom. Now you're going to pump it a few times. Okay, so yeah, okay. Pump it up and down. Now it's squirting it out the bottom, because it's not done up properly. So I can't get it to do up. Anyway, continue. Now I need to get it to 200 mil off the bottom. Okay. And got a little bit on the ruler, so we're at 200. And we're going to insert the spring. Tight coils at the top, I believe. And here we go. Pull the fork up. And washer on top. And pressure down. That doesn't feel very tight. And the fork upside down. And we're going to try and get this to do up. Don't think it's going to. Right, so I need to put some pressure on the fork for it to bite. Take the wheel axle, push down on that, and do it up. There you go. There we go. And then once they're installed, clamped in the yoke, I'll tension that back up. So we now have the TFX progressive front forks for the F650GS Dakar installed in my shock absorbers, and along with some TFX front fork fluid 20, only the best, and I'm ready to get reinstalled on the Dakar. Just going to be a hopefully going to be a simple reversal of the removal. It's going to be a case of sliding them up into the yokes, clamping the bottom, doing the big nut up on the top of the fork, and then clamping there with that nut, doing the bridge across the top, in the middle even, and then reinstalling the wheel. So I don't know if you can see what I've done here. Why didn't you say anything if you could? I've installed the forks, and I was like bashing into them, and I was like, if there's any way I can protect these. Oh yeah, I brought some stuff. And here I have some socks, which need to go on before you get to this stage. So I just have to remove them. So I put this bridge in so they kind of tie the forks up together, get them lined up. There's one. I feel like they might come off. And back in they go. So right, okay, we've put it a bit back together. Put the bridge across. Done the bolts up properly. Got that to line up to themselves. And then clamped it in place here. Forks here. Level, top of the fork level with the yoke. Got that, then clamped them in place down here. Then done up the big nut nice and tight. Same on both sides. Torqued it up to the correct torque settings. And then reinstalled my lights. And I've installed these, which you saw. I just slipped one. I'm not cable tied these on yet because I'm going to want to check for leaks, I think. So ride it around for a little bit, and all I've got to do now, front wheel, get the cables in place, make sure everything's sound, and then we can have a test bounce. I'm excited. Dakar. Okay, the wheel's back on. Mostly looks good, but I do have two errors which I need to sort out. I've not had before. This light is hitting the fairing, even though it's in the same position as the other side, which doesn't knock. And then I've also, as you're going to see down there, routed the accelerator cable alongside of the fork. I think it should be on the inside. So hopefully I just need to drop down the fork out the top yoke, and then I should just be able to put it to the other side and then push it all back in. Okay, I've fixed my errors, moved the lights in, just drop the forks down, I had to take the caliper off. Yeah, just drop the forks down and then pass the accelerator cable over the top. Whilst it's just out of this top yoke here, just slid it through and corrected that, and we are good to check it out. Unfortunately it's wet and dark outside, so I ain't going for a ride tonight, but I will drop it off the stand and give it a bounce. Feels good. So I've just taken the bike for a quick spin, just with the forks in, or the shocks in the fork, the springs in the forks even. And I am happy with how it feels. A little bit firmer, a little less nose dive on heavy braking. Just feels a bit more planted on the front. I was getting a bit concerned how it was feeling. Okay, so stay tuned. We've got the rear suspension to go. So like and subscribe to this video and you'll see how you go about installing a TFX monoshock to this beautiful, lovely BMW F650GS Dakar.